off, I think.
All righty. It's 5 p.m. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll begin with a quick roll call. Mr. Barton?
Here.
Mr. Freshour?
Here.
Dr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Chapman?
Here.
Dr. Minnie?
Here.
Everybody's good to go. If everybody stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have no delegations at this time, which will move us into reports. And we'll start with literature fair winners. Dr. Minnie.
I think Ms. West is going to hand out the certificates, and I believe you're going to call them up, and I'm going to shake their hands and maybe get a picture taken with them. Correct, Lisa?
So
I didn't do it.
we hosted the county fairs, and then we have competed at the regional fairs. So at the elementary level, we had 23 students, 10 classes for a total of 32 projects at the county. And then we had 7 students with 6 projects at the middle school. So those were the county fairs. And so we would like to recognize those students who then advanced first place to regional competition. First, we have, with Diary of a Wimpy Kid Big Shot, first place, Aaron Barr.
Congratulations.
Aaron also placed first at the regional.
Great job.
Good job.
Placing first at the county for class project, Because of Winn-Dixie, representing her class is Layla Fox and Aubrey Ash. They're not with us, but they did place second at the regional also. So congratulations to them. Representing a class with the book My Father's Dragon, Connor Smith and Brendan Pinson. Brendan is here tonight. And they did place first at the regional.
Good job.
Placing first at the county fair with Owl Diaries, Eva at the Beach, Tommy Joe Chesser. And Tommy Joe placed third at regionals.
Good job.
Yes, yes. Placing first with the book The Last Firehawk, we had partners Skylar Carter and Kaylee Smith. Placing first with the book Exploring the Titanic is Hayden Lowther at the county fair. And Hayden placed third at regionals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. Then we have representing their class and the book James and the Giant Peach. We have Colin Carter and Reagan Wakeoff.
Good job.
And they placed first at regionals.
Good job, guys.
Then we had first for Gilmer County with the book True or False Farm Animals, Brooklyn Bell.
Brooklyn.
See her here this evening. And then another class project with first place at the county, What If You Had Animal Teeth, Mason Kirk and Adrian Shinneberry. Also a class project was Sarah Plain and Tall, And the speakers for that class project were Sylvie Montgomery and Chase McHenry, and they also placed first at the county. Also placing first at the county was Hunter Workman with All About Steph Curry. Oh, there's Chase. Chase, you want to come up, buddy? Representing your class project of Sarah Plain and Tall first at the county fair. And then Diary of a Wimpy Kid, No Grainer, was Aubrey Daigle, first place at the county. Yeah.
Lisa, if you don't mind to stand up, let's have all of them come up for a group picture and the board will get behind and
All
that
the
way we get
students
a,
come forward, yes.
Get everybody in right there?
Oh, we might want to shift. Which way?
Everybody shift down this way.
Alrighty. Congratulations.
Good job. Good. Great job to all of you.
You all are more than welcome. If you need to go, you can go, or you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to stay?
Lots of fun.
See.
All right, so we'll continue down the agenda, and under reports, we have the Calhoun Gilmer Career Center 50th anniversary rededication. Mr. Martin.
Do we have the?
That's my cue. I'm getting there.
Okay. The 19th of October, while he's doing that, was the 50th anniversary of the Calhoun Gilmer Career Center. Actually on the date, and was on a Sunday. So it kind of worked out quite nicely for that. And what we have is about a minute flick of things that took place and showing the history thereof.
Let's hope I can get it bigger than that.
And I want to thank Mr. Buckley and his students for working on that video. It's very good, and it shows, kids some, of course, our county working on that, but, both just the cooperation that we have between the two counties at the center. And then before right there, I'd also like to thank Miss Kay for sending down Morelli, I thank you, Miss West, for her presentation of the national anthem. It was very nice.
I hope this gets bigger than this, so we'll see.
Then and now, celebrating 50 years of excellence at the Calhoun Gilmer Career Center. Since opening in 1975, CGCC has been the cornerstone of opportunities, helping students across our regions build practical skills, hands-on experiences, and confidence for life and work. Over the decades, CGCC has grown with the times, adapting to new industries, advancing technology, and serving the needs of our local workforce. What began with toolboxes and typewriters has become a center for modern learning, offering industry certifications, college credits, and real-world experiences. 50 years of service, dedicated educators, more than 7,000 alumni, deep roots in the community. Today, CGCC offers 11 career and technical education programs that prepare students for demands of the future. From healthcare to welding, from technologies to public safety, students gain not only skills, but leadership, teamwork, and problem solving that last a lifetime. For 50 years, CGCC has stayed true to one mission: empowering students, supporting communities, and building futures. As we celebrate this milestone, we look back with pride and forward with purpose. Here's the 50 years of innovation, education, and community impact. And the next 50 is yet to come.
Like I said, this was the 50th anniversary, and the State Department is placing a lot of value on career and technical education. In the last 2 years, SBA has put $3 million into the center for building purposes. And this summer, the latest part of the NT is to redo the foods lab. It'll be state of the art, up and running, won't look anything like it does now. And hopefully it will take all next year to do it. So the Wiener wagon we're now using will be the foods lab when school starts next fall till they get it completed. But the head of the SBA was there for the dedication. And show my age, I've been here since most of the major renovations for Gilmer County High School took place, and I never, ever saw the gentleman that was in charge of SBA, but he was there and made a speech. So that tells you how much emphasis they're putting on career and technical education. So if you look at college going rate, and when you graduate with a 4-year degree, what's it cost you, and those kind of things, whereas you can go there and come out with a skill when you graduate and go to work, there's a big difference. There's a big need for welders, not only in the private sector, but the Navy is hiring welders left and right. I know Braxton County has a couple of kids that graduated a couple of years ago that they were conned into going into the Navy, and they went as welders, and they were working at Norfolk and doing that. Presently, there is 115 kids enrolled at the Career Center. Calhoun has more than we do. They have 71, we have 43. So I think it behooves us as a board and as educators, period, to try to come up with a way to make better use of the facility. Welders make $50 an hour. Nurses make a lot more than high school administrators make. I know my sister-in-law had a 2-year degree, and she made more money in 1 year than I made when I was ready to retire, with more graduate hours and years of experience than I want to count. So, like I said, I think we need to come up with more practical ways of making use of the facility. There's lots of people that are putting high dollars into it, and they have their accountability results back, and their scores they did quite well. 47% of the kids, when they took the exam, qualified as they were doing work-based, and that's something that we just started doing now. Completers, their numbers were up 3%. And we didn't quite understand this part of it. It deals with teacher certification. It shows this year that there were 89% of them, the way they calculated it, that were certified, but the director doesn't understand that, and I didn't either, since all of them are certified in the areas they teach. So that's kind of hard with their accountability measures to understand. But the kids that are finishing up as completers are finding jobs. The kids, for instance, that finished the healthcare center, Gilmer County has, I know of at least 2 of the young ladies that were in the nursing program that are working from Gilmer at work at the Minnie Hamilton long-term care, because I see them when I go see my mother. So there are jobs that you can get, and then you can use that money to further your education. So I think that's something that's important. On their setup, the 8th grade presentations are set up for both counties, Calhoun and Gilmer. One is November the 7th, the other is the 14th. the 10th grade visits are set up for November the 19th. And on January the 29th, they're going to see the 6th and 8th graders. And when they come to the schools this year, they're bringing students from Gilmer County that are involved in the labs that are there, so they can actually tell our students what they can expect and do those kind of things. So there's lots of good things going on there. And like I said, I just think we need to make better use of a facility. You want to talk about math, for instance, see somebody that's a welder and see how much geometry they know, or a carpenter, how much trig. They tell you they don't know math, they can't do math, but you give them a square and they can make it work. There's a lot of trig involved in that. So, like I said, I think there's lots of job possibilities, and we just need to open up the facility and make better use of it. So that's basically what I got from the Career Center.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda and start with the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 13th, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 13th, 2025.
Second.
Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 13th, 2025. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. At this time, we'll have bills for payment. And I do believe we have Ginger on the phone to give us details and whatever other information we might need. Ginger, go ahead.
Okay, hi guys, I'm sorry I couldn't be with you tonight. So the first thing we're presenting to you are bills for payment. There's, it's pretty much standard bills. I did want to call your attention to, we did actually purchase sheep hearts and sheep brains. That is on a typo, that we really did that for some of our science classes.
Good.
So I just wanted to call your attention to that, kind of more as a funny anything, but. Does anyone have questions about the bills we presented?
Any questions about bills?
No.
Okay. All right, looks like we have done, so.
Make a motion to approve the bills for payment.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the bills for payment as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, Ginger, we're on to budget supplements and transfers.
Okay, these are the supplements, and the only thing that you have in front of you are they call them carryover supplements. They basically transfer the financial information from one fiscal year to the other. There's no automation in this process. It's 100% manual. After we finish the financial statements and have all the balances, it gets manually input into the new year. So none of this information is new to you. As we've been going through, you've approved anything that was already put in there. It's just simply getting it in the correct fiscal year now.
I make a motion to approve the budget supplements and transfers.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the budget supplements and transfers as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. Ginger, we're on to September monthly financial report.
Okay, so that's the long report. It actually does say that cash basis for September 2025. This is the one that back in March we agreed to do quarterly. And it's been a little bit longer than a quarter, but I was trying to get us on an actual quarter basis so that it would, we could be consistent. So this is as of the end of the quarter that ended September 30th. I'm happy to take questions or go line by line. Most of the variances that I see from the prior year, most of those are timing issues, such as on the very first page, not the heading. There is a variance of $338,000 in the current expense fund. And that is because I have not funded the local projects yet. And at this point in last year, I had already done that. So most of it is just a timing of when we, when we do entries or when we receive the funds versus when they go out. And also to make note, we do not have any stimulus funds remaining. Those are all completely expended. So anything that you see on here that's for that federal stimulus and stabilization fund will be no longer. So they will all have variances because we were still spending and receiving money this time last year.
Any questions? Questions about monthly financial report?
Do
Do we have to
approve
that one? No.
Just a report that she
Okay.
shares.
All right, and then Ginger will move on to do September 2025 cash report.
Okay, and that's the one that we go over every month. This is the one that's required. Currently, there is $5.4 million in the two accounts, United and Calhoun. Remember that number also fluctuates as we go through the year. Again, due to timing, when the payments are due, when payroll was due. So just keep that in mind. That just kind of goes with the flow as well.
All right.
That's all I have on those.
Right.
Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you,
Yep.
Ginger.
Thank you, guys.
Any other questions for Ginger while we're in that section? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you.
All righty, so that'll move us into new business, and we'll start with item 1, review policy 3120.12, substitutes in areas of critical need. Dr. Manning.
Okay, this is a policy that we do yearly. It's to be able to place substitutes in areas of critical need in Gilmer County schools. And currently we have that as English, language arts, reading, Spanish, business, CTE, science, mathematics, family and consumer science, special education, music, and art. Speech, school psychologist, visual impaired, gifted, autism, deaf and hard of hearing, a principal, English as a second language, preschool special needs, physical education, counselor, and school nurse. Those are all areas of critical need. And the purpose of this is to provide employment of retired teachers as substitutes on an expanded basis in those areas. So if we would happen to have somebody that, or if we couldn't fill those areas, we would be able to identify, hire a substitute, and they would kind of receive the full benefits of a teacher.
Make a motion to place policy 3120.12 out for comment or review for 30 days.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to place policy 3120.12 out on comment or review for 30 days. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion?
Just wanted to clarify, the last sentence says that the West Virginia Code that authorizes this policy is scheduled to expire on June 30th, 2030, unless extended by the legislature. So that's up to date. I mean, everything else has been annual on this thing, so that's the only date that jumped out at me.
Okay,
My guess is with the teacher shortage they'll do something in the legislature to expand that, because this is a problem. Actually, we are very lucky. We don't have nearly the problems other places have. This is just kind of used in case we need to use it.
any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to item number 2, review policy 4120.12, areas of critical need and shortage for substitute bus drivers. Dr. Manning.
And this is a similar policy, but for service personnel. It basically states that the Board of Education hereby adopts the definition of area of critical need set forth in West Virginia Code areas of critical need and shortage for substitute bus operators means that the number of available qualified substitute bus operators in the county who are not retired and are available and willing to accept substitute bus operator assignments is insufficient to meet the projected need for qualified substitute bus operators. This one, we could probably get into using some. We're very close on bus drivers, but if somebody would say, for example, get sick or something like that, or we very well could use this one. There is a little added language there. Such posting will only be required once at the beginning of the year and once at mid-year. You used to have to keep posting and posting and posting that. Now, with that being a problem for so many counties with bus drivers, they only require you to post at the beginning. You don't fill it. You could fill it, but you do have to repost it sometime mid-year. So that's a little change compared to what we've approved before.
Make a motion to place policy 4120, 12 out for comment review for 30 days.
Second.
Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded to place policy 4120, point 12 out on comment and review for 30 days. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, on to number 3, authorize possible purchase of used maintenance / mechanic vehicles under 40,000. Dr. Manning.
So I think we budgeted 180 last year, and believe it or not, that's not enough to buy 3 brand new vehicles outfitted. It's pretty close, but it's not quite enough. A couple different issues that we want to try to prevent. Number one, we don't want to have to buy 3 new vehicles at one time again. So we'd like to be able to purchase a couple new vehicles. But if we would see a good used vehicle, which we had our eyes on a couple, and they kind of, used vehicles don't last very long. They go fast. The one that we were looking at was from a city council somewhere in Ohio, and it was outfitted very nice. It had 50,000 miles on it, and it was a 2020. We would like to be able, if we found a good vehicle like that, to be able to send our mechanic up and test drive it and so on and so forth, and be able to purchase it then instead of waiting 2 weeks to the next meeting and not and kind of getting beat out. We plan to buy 2 new vehicles. The maintenance vehicles are in the most dire need. So we're kind of looking in that direction. So this would just give us an opportunity. I'm not going to say we're going to find a good one, but it would give us an opportunity if we did find a good used vehicle that we could purchase it, because they don't stay on the lots very long.
I make a motion to give approval to proceed with the purchase of used vehicle not to exceed $40,000 when and if such an option becomes available.
Second.
Okay. It's been properly motioned and moved and approved to, or seconded to approve and proceed with the purchase of a used vehicle not to exceed 40,000 when and if such an option becomes available. Is there any discussion?
You said we already budgeted for this.
Yeah, we have, I believe, I'd have to go back and look. I believe we have 180 in the budget.
Yeah.
But a vehicle
So,
is expensive.
yeah, they are expensive. I guess my concern here is we have 3 vehicles that are kind of, to me, from what I hear, are in dire shape. I mean, we got a bus mechanic truck that's 1999.
95.
Or 95, somewhere in there, and I keep getting these complaints. Whenever you talk about used vehicles, not they're, a bad thing, but, somebody can take that used vehicle. You don't know if you're getting a lemon right off the bat. And it seems like those vehicles that we currently have should have been put on some kind of schedule way before now of replacement and whatever. So we've lost a process or not had a process or something to get rid of those. So now we're going to go buy these, like you said, 2 vehicles at 40,000. Well, it sounds like we're just buying something to have to get rid of in another 5 years. I mean,
I think we're going to get 2 new and 1
Two
used.
new, yeah. I'd like to be able to put one, probably of course, it'd be the used one. If it would last 5 years, put it on a rotation, 5 years, buy a new vehicle. And then, hopefully the other two would last 10 years. The transportation vehicle should last a little bit longer. It should last 10 years. There's a lot less travel on that than what there is even on our maintenance vehicle. So trying to figure out a way to put them all on a rotation where we don't get stuck buying three, because 3 new vehicles at once is expensive, and I can only imagine what that's going to be 10 or 15 years from now.
The one thing I would say,
Don't buy from an auction and
don't
wherever.
buy it from an auction, but
What we would do
Right.
is seek out and have our mechanic go check
Right.
it out.
what I'm going to say, don't buy it from the auction. It goes to my second part is we ended up with one that was 3 years old and had less than 20,000 miles on it, but it was a little over 50. It had I don't know the correct name of the bed, but it's the working bed with the tool drawers.
Mhm.
It was an F-350, but wasn't 60, but it was in the upper 50s. And that was in Kentucky. So there's some out there. So for 40, what I'm saying is you might try to stay at 40, but I would, if you're looking for a good used one, might want to amend Hillary's motion to say up to 60, and then could get something that still has a warranty under it.
And like, I guess I'm still kind of back to the point. If we allocated 180 and we can get close to that, I would rather expend and have something that's brand new. Where
We
we're not
could-
gonna have problems.
We can
then
buy
go
two new.
look
We can
used
buy 2 new
vehicles.
ones this year and wait. But when I say they're expensive, you're talking about a $75,000-$80,000 truck. But then that doesn't outfit the truck.
Yeah.
That means you're going to have to buy the cab, the tool bill, which is another
Well,
$25K.
and I would think if we looked around, surely, in another state maybe or something, if you said, hey, I'm 1-3 at one time, is there discounts or something or sales that they would be running to?
Is the box on the back of the utility truck, like, with the drawers and stuff, is that worn out too? Or can we just buy a truck
No,
and then
it's-
have the box?
It's all
It's
on
bad.
out.
Yeah.
And one of them's going to have a lift gate.
The only plus I see to buying 2 new ones and 1 used one now is being able to put it on a schedule then and not have to buy all 3 new at one time. We could probably
Right.
get, replace the used one in a few years and then replace the more used with the new ones in a couple more years. and
Pick out
then-
the one that's in worse shape and just try to rotate through and put them on a schedule. And if not, we can buy 2 new ones and it'll replace, the transportation truck, even though it's a 95, is in a lot better shape than the other 2. We can buy 2 new trucks. It's just trucks are really expensive right now.
Yes, they
And
are.
it's not going to, 180,000 is not going to cover the cost of 3 new ones.
And I'm kind of like Mr. Barton. I just think that number is kind of low, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, when your average pickup is maybe $60,000.
But when we try to look at what we're going to pay, if we get in the $70,000 range for a truck,
Might as well get a new one.
and then you're thinking you got to outfit it with the tools and the cab that goes on it. There's only so much money there that we have left, which is around $40,000.
So
So
the new ones, will we be taking bids on those? Or how do you plan to buy those? Since
What's
they're
that?
Since they're over the 10,000, will we take bids, like give a
Ginger, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, and yes, we will have to bid those.
yeah, with different dealerships, maybe try to find the best deal we can on.
Yep.
Because every truck's different. They're all, have a little bit of different package on them.
Yeah,
Everything.
we'll have to bid it spec only, not, of course,
expensive.
brand specific.
Right.
It'll have to be very generic horsepower, 4-wheel drive,
Mhm.
Whatever.
3/4 ton.
Work trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a work truck. Yeah.
Whatever the things that we need.
Yeah.
Lift gates, we may even do that separately depending on the situation.
I would.
Yeah.
So I
Like
guess
I
if 40 is what we have, then do 40 or what?
I'm fine with it. Unlike most people, I'm absolutely fine with used vehicles. So
Well, like I said,
it's a short-term problem. I think putting it on the rotation, I mean, otherwise you just buy 3 new ones and set them on a schedule and let them limp along and, do it. So if you're going to add more money to it, you might as well just really add it to it and buy all 3 new ones and then worry about it later, set them on. Either way, you need to set them on a schedule, like we said.
But both ways, they need to be put on a schedule so they rotate out every 5 or so years.
But, I mean,
I don't care.
it's going to be better
How
than
old
what
are
they
the other
currently
two? You
have.
said the ones from 95. How old are the other two?
I don't know the years, but they're falling apart.
I'm just saying, how many years did we get to before it was a problem? And then that make that. I mean, 5 years is awful quick for a $60,000 truck or $70,000 truck. Is all I'm thinking.
Mhm.
It is,
I
but
think them things been here 15 or more
Yeah,
years.
so like
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
10,
yeah.
maybe like 10 year. You know,
But
like
the thing about a truck like that, if it's low mileage, then it's going to be super low mileage with us because we don't have very far to travel. It will retain a lot of its value in 5 years. So you're going to get a lot of money back towards the purchase of a new vehicle if they were on a pretty
All right. What do
quick
y'all want to do?
rotation.
I'm good. I'm at the will of the people.
I'm good too.
So we have a motion on the floor to proceed with the recommendation and the motion that was made, which was to proceed with the purchase of a used vehicle not to exceed 40,000 when and if such an option becomes available.
And I mean, if they can't find it, then they can't find it. We'll have
Then
to
we'll just
revisit
approve more
it.
money when we need it. Yeah.
Well, we're probably going to look for our new vehicles first and see
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
See what's left.
Get what's in dire needs right now and get that taken care of and then go from there.
We've got some leads on some new vehicles and bidding out and things like that have to be done.
All right.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Any abstention? Motion carries. All right. Let's move on to personnel. Dr. Manning.
All right. With professional, we got the blank for mentor Spanish teacher. We didn't get an applicant. And we have Karen McLean, resignation, social studies teacher, effective 10/17/25.
Make a motion to approve the professional portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay. All right. It's been probably moved and seconded to approve the professional portion of the personnel agenda. Any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carry. All right. No service on extracurricular.
Got JT Fox, elementary basketball coach for hire, 4th, 5th. Emma Taylor, resignation, auxiliary elementary basketball coach, 4th, 5th. Valerie Matson, resignation, elementary basketball coach, 2nd, 3rd. David Russell, resignation, elementary basketball coach, 4th, 5th. Chelsea Stickelman, resignation, auxiliary elementary basketball, 2nd, 3rd.
Make a motion to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, that'll take us out of personnel and move us into continuous improvement. We have the gate presentation. Mrs. West.
Oh, and I see big printing this
I
time.
was gonna wait until she got over here, but I
I'm
saw
old,
it.
Miss West.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can barely see with my glasses.
Thank you very much.
So our gate team conducted 2 focus visits, September 29th and September 30th. And so our principals received data from that and presented it to their faculties on the PL Day, October 15th. So the process when we're talking about the gate, it involves when the gate team goes to the schools and we conduct a focus visit, it includes student interviews. At the elementary, that's 3rd through 5th grade. At the high school, the middle school interviews are separate from the high school students. There are teacher interviews, principal interviews, classroom walkthroughs, facility walkthrough, a special education file review, and a finance review. Details to note about the process: all interviews are based on the standards for highly effective schools, which I gave you a copy of that. Classroom walkthroughs are the same key elements used for principal walkthroughs, but these are not part of an evaluative system. Therefore, teachers do not receive emails. When a principal conducts a walkthrough, it is set up to send an email to the teacher with that information. Ours is through forms. It stays right here within the county. It's not part of that evaluative system. Facilities, special education, and finance, they use a checklist to review their portion of the focus visit. We were able to include guest teachers to walk through both schools. We had a middle school ELA teacher and a high school math teacher that walked through the elementary with us. And then we had 2 elementary teachers, 1 math, 1 ELA focus, to walk through the high school with us. And they just simply took notes. And then we have those notes housed here at central office. The GATE, again, stands for Gilmer Accountability Team for Excellence. They meet together and prep. We have a pre-visit prep session. Then we conduct the focus visits. Then we return and we analyze data post-visit and create focus themes for both schools and as a district. Some things that we would like to do as the GATE team: we need to reevaluate the original plan. There were some pieces that are in that original plan that we have yet to implement, and so we just need to revisit that plan and make some edits, adjustments, add some more things to our to-do list. We do want to add to the process of the focus visits. We would love to hear from our service personnel, so wanting to provide an interview opportunity for them, and then also parents. I think once we have our parents included, we will have the full picture of both schools with focus visits. When we look at the elementary focus themes, some things for them to be working on before the spring focus visits would include our community knows the school is there and that it's for learning, but there's a lot more to that. I don't know if you've seen the videos we've been releasing about what reading looks like in the classroom, what math looks like in our classrooms. We have a writing one that's about to come out at the elementary. So again, just showing what that looks like now in our classrooms. All students master versus all students show growth. And that is, if you look again at your standards for effective schools, that's a mindset. And for some of us, that's going to require a shift in our thinking and in our teaching. Consistent support with discipline. Again, there's new policy out with discipline, wanting to continue to have open conversations about discipline between administrators, parents, teachers. And then again, working to drill down to skills for subgroups. What does that really look like in ELA and math, especially with our special ed students at our elementary? High school focus themes, some of these are very similar. We want to include families in the scheduling process and pathway choices, understanding the standards for content areas and summative data. Again, providing those data folders, I think that's a great step in the right direction, but again, wanting to include our families in that scheduling process more. Teachers need to work with students who do not master the content the first time. Again, that shift that all students can master content. Classroom to classroom, behavior expectations need to be the same. Working to build relationships with students, kind of that one caring adult idea. And then again, co-teaching, making sure that co-teachers are team teaching and co-planning. And so as a district, we need to be working on supporting the PLC frameworks, instructional shift with our students being able to master content, and then several things looking at professional development, again, with the multi-tiered systems of support model, PBIS, core curriculum, co-teaching, and then just that ongoing walkthroughs that our school level administrators are completing while also looking at lesson plans. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms.
Yes,
West.
thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
Thank you.
Very good.
Alrighty. That'll move us into the superintendent's update. Dr. Minnie.
Superintendent's update. That's on this little sticky pad here. I want to say congratulations to the middle school football team. They had a good year, and their season just ended. So I wanted to say congratulations on that. This past Friday, David Odell came to the high school, and we did a science room equipment / meet greet. And we kind of walked through the science labs and took a look at the equipment, took a look at the resources available there, and kind of got an idea what the next steps, which will bring all the teachers, him and our committee kind of together, where he could kind of get a list of suggestions and ideas and so on and so forth. We had a pretty well outfitted science department, but there's room to add different things that I think we were really lab focused, what we could provide to students with good labs. And some of our equipment's outdated and things like that, but it was a good visit. He got to give his cards to all of the teachers, and if we need help, he can bring us equipment over. So it's a good partnership, but just want to give an update on that. The WEASA hosted a kind of a solution tree, how to build PLCs training. It was the very first of a four meeting training. So it was a broad overview, but Mr. Fox was selected as one of 40 principals in the state to attend. And the reason why was because of the growth that Gilmer County schools showed, and particularly his school showed. And he is going to be going through that cohort and learning all the tricks of the trade when it comes to building out PLCs and to get really high functioning PLCs there that do things like drill down into skills for students and change the mindset that all the students can and will master the content. And it was really good. It was an overview. It was a long day, but it was an overview of what is going to he's going to be trained on. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. We're going to have volleyball regionals here, I think Thursday. And if you get a chance to go out and support the volleyball team, we got a good chance to do well there.
Will that be at the Waco at the high school?
It's at the high school. And with that being said, we did have parent-teacher conferences scheduled that night, but we are moving those because we're afraid we're not going to be able to have the parking for the people to park there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sprung on us there at the last minute, but that's okay. We're going to move those to the following week. I want to say congrats to all the literacy fair winners. I think literacy is one of those things that we've really been focusing on, and our test scores have shown both in elementary and middle school that the scores are coming up. So those fairs are very important to inspire students to read. Reading in general is very important to becoming a good reader and a good test taker. And I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that on November 5th, Wednesday, November 5th, we're having a special meeting for personnel and student expulsion. That's all I've got.
All righty. Thank you, Dr. Minnie. We'll move into board member comments. Start with Mr. Chapman.
No, I'm just going to touch on what Mrs. West was talking about with the videos that they're making. My son Chase was picked to do one on math, and I don't know if you guys have got to see it or not, but it's pretty much saying, learning doesn't have to stop in our school. Like, you can have your kids do stuff at home and little things, from counting steps as they walk up steps to counting the peas on their plate. There's always opportunity to learn everywhere. So it just tickled me that Chase did the video, but I see what they're doing. I really liked it. It was good. It was a good video.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chapman. I don't have anything at this time. Dr. Miller?
I was just going to take a minute and mention that I talked to Dr. Minnie this weekend when, the government, we found out it's going to stay shut down because SNAP benefits will end for a lot of people in the county, I guess, starting today. So he has already worked it out to where we can help the kids out by sending home some suppers and different
Good.
things to try to bridge that gap and keep our kids fed, because it's hard for a hungry child to learn. We need to take care of all their basic needs. And I think Mrs. Sue Morris is,
We have multiple partners, and Sue's one of them, and Save the Children will be one of them. And then we also plan to expand a supper program. We're getting organized on that one, but that would be a supper program that we feed kids after school.
It's great.
yeah, got to take care of each other. It's uncertain out there, and everybody needs to check on their neighbors and check on the families with kids and make sure everyone has enough to eat and they're being taken care of. If there's anything, you can let me know or anyone here know. And we have a lot of resources available that we can assist people. So don't be afraid to ask.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. Mr. Fresher.
No comment at this time.
All right, Mr. Burton.
Like to comment on the band for their performance Saturday. From what I saw, they did quite well for the few numbers they had. And they need to be patted on the back. The drum major was first place. And after hearing her play, I've seen her perform, I understand. And speaking of her play, if it's sometime possible for one of our meetings, I think it would be very nice if we ask her to come and play. Playing the instrument she played, and she was flawless down there with it. And that instrument, to do that tune on, is not an easy task.
Great.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
All righty. So that'll take us out of board member comments. And Lisa, are we going to just go straight in, or do we need to recess? Or
Take a 2-minute recess.
Potty break.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So do I have a motion? Do I have a motion for a 5-minute recess before we
So
get into work
moved.
session?
Second.
Okay. All right. It's been properly moved and seconded to recess for 5 minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. training for new diligent community.
And this is something that I'm going to lead, and I'm not an expert on diligent, but I'm going to be the expert tonight. Just kind of the introductory. We will have another training on it. I don't think it's going to take a lot of training. It's
Just
much
leave
like
it
board
fast.
docs. It's pretty simple.
Are you going to put like an icon on our computer?
Yeah, we will. We'll put a shortcut
Okay, cool.
No, I'll delete the one I just made.
And you can see
You can.
that's this will be the sign in to the public site. And you can see you can sign in right there. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. Let me go back here. I clicked
This thing will not go away.
off of the PowerPoint.
What's it called again? I guess I'll look it up as well since everybody else is.
Well, I don't have it either, so.
In your executive content on board docs, there's a link to get to that public site.
I can't even get into board docs today.
Yeah.
Did you restart when you got here?
I didn't restart my computer.
Restart your computer, that's.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah.
I don't really care enough to do that. You can just show me what you're doing.
We're going to play it. I think everybody will,
Man, I don't know where to turn this one off.
I think everybody will not have that much of a problem. It's about,
I could probably figure it out.
Yeah, I think I can.
we showed just the first video.
Actually.
Where you turn this thing off at, Cody?
I can figure it out. He said.
Where start button, your waffle at the bottom, beside the search bar.
Oh,
Yep, and then right there.
All right, in the
Hit
current
start, and you
meeting,
got updates as well.
we go to our.
updates.
Yeah, do update and restart. That's gonna take a minute.
There we go. Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
This is an 8-minute video, which is the majority of my training, hopefully.
Welcome, valued Board Docs executive users. As we embark on our journey to transition to diligent community, we want to assure you that this change brings new possibilities for enhancing your governance practices. In this video, we'll guide you through the similarities between Board Docs and diligent community and introduce you to new exciting features at your disposal. Let's get started. In diligent community, executive user roles are now referred to as members. Before we dive into the process of logging in, let's take a moment to recap how you used to do that in Board Docs. The authentication process started with the unique URL provided by your organization's super publisher. Following that, you'd click Authenticate, enter your login credentials, and complete the process by selecting Sign In, which would then lead you to the landing page. In Diligent Community, the authentication process is now simply referred to as Sign In. Your site administrator will provide you with your new unique URL. Clicking Sign In at the top right corner will take you to the page where you can enter your credentials to log in. Now that we know how to access Diligent Community, let's revisit how you used to access your meetings in Board Docs. Once logged in from your landing page, you could either select a meeting from your featured page or simply navigate to the Meetings tab and select the desired meeting from your left-hand side menu. You would then be presented with options to view the agenda, download, print, and view minutes.
I was getting ready
Shifting
to
our
just
attention to
rename
Diligent
here
Community,
what's
let's
going
now
on.
explore how you view, download, and print the agenda and minutes. Once logged in, you would land on your meetings page, which is indicated by the selected house icon in your navigation menu. Your meetings page offers two tabs, Upcoming and Previous, enabling you to view your upcoming and past meetings. To access an agenda, simply click on the desired meeting. This page presents the agenda outline on the left, a range of visualization controls and annotations at the top, and the agenda content in the middle. The agenda outline contains all your agenda content, and you can easily navigate to specific sections by clicking on the desired elements. The cogwheel icon provides view controls, including options for page transition, orientation, and layout. The Zoom drop-down menu offers predefined zoom settings, and you can also manually adjust the zoom by using the plus and minus icons. Now, before we dive into how to annotate agendas in Diligent Community, let's recap how this was done by Board Docs Pro and Pro Plus users in Board Docs. Once logged in and with the agenda open, you would simply click the comments icon located at the top right corner to start adding notes to the selected agenda item. Back to our agenda in Diligent Community. Let's now explore the exciting new ways you all will have to annotate the agenda regardless of the purchase level. The first option allows you to highlight text. Simply click this option and select the desired text in your agenda.
I just want to pause this for just a second. The highlighted text, I can't highlight the recommendations anymore. They'll come up as recommendations, so they'll be in bold, but I don't have the highlight function where so you'll have a whole nother section there, and I think, oh, here, wait a second. I need to pass these out.
Oh, geez.
Take one and pass it down. So,
Are we moving our policies over onto this too eventually?
No, the policies are not compatible with it just yet, so there'll still be a link on our page.
I saw.
this would be, take one of those and pass it down. And then this is a public agenda. This is what the public would see in there. And this last one would be what an agenda with an example. Lisa's already ahead of the game with a draft here.
Any one of these, you got about 3 sheets, or you give me all at once.
And you can see when you look at this very last one that I'm going to pass down, this very last
I'll leave
one,
you one of these out.
you can see how the recommendations are going to come, and they will come bolded at the bottom under briefing
I got
notes.
3.
Here's one of these. I need one of those. That goes that way.
That goes that way.
That's
Sorry,
right.
no, there are 3 different ones. Let's send some
It's
stuff
like
back
the
to
members
just
one.
confuse them.
So the members one, you'll see, and you'll be able to look at that, and you'll be able to see a bold recommendation. That would be how, which is this is my main concern, because after we did the memo agenda, then we switched to board docs. It keeps the flow of the meeting a lot better. And you'll be able to see the recommendations will be typed in there in bold, but they won't be in blue.
That's easy.
On the website, if you don't print it out on the website, it's looks like a little Post-it note, and they'll show you that in a little bit. Just click on the Post-it note to be able to see it.
The second option allows you to underline text. To use this feature, click the option and follow the same step you used to highlight text. Moreover, you can make freehand annotations, which can be especially handy if you have a device with stylus support.
So you could log on with your phone.
Additionally, you can add notes to specific parts of your agenda using the Notes icon. Select this option, then click on the area in the agenda where you want to add the notes. You'll be prompted to leave your notes, and once you're done, click Save.
Yeah, how many people would actually make a bunch of notes all over?
The magnifying glass allows you to search the document, and you can specify whether your search criteria should be case-sensitive or apply to whole words. You can conveniently view and manage all your notes in one place by clicking the Annotations icon. Within this section, you can also search for specific notes you've created using the search bar. Clicking on the notes highlights their location in the agenda. Should you wish to delete a note, it's as easy as selecting the annotation and clicking the trash can icon. And finally, you can also download a copy of your agenda with or without annotations by clicking the 3 dots menu and selecting the relevant option. Now that we are familiar with how to access and annotate agendas in Diligent Community, let's learn how you can access minutes and print them. To do this, navigate back to the meetings page by clicking the house icon in your navigation menu. For meetings that have minutes available, you will notice a 3 dots menu next to them. Clicking on this menu will provide you with the available versions of minutes for that specific meeting, whether they're public or member minutes, draft or final. You will be presented with the minutes in 2 different formats, WebView and PDF. The web view displays the minutes just as they appear to your public stakeholders on the portal. On the other hand, the PDF view equips you with a range of tools, which we've explored earlier in this video, including viewing controls, zoom options, and a handy search function. Additionally, you can download a physical copy by clicking the three dots menu and selecting Download, which you can then use to print. Diligent Community also offers a feature called Live Meeting, which enables you to stay engaged with the meeting. During a meeting, you will see a banner positioned at the bottom of every page. Clicking on this banner will take you directly to the agenda for that specific meeting.
So the live meeting, if I'm not mistaken, allows you to take the minutes at live, like you would enter your vote. And I don't think that we probably want to do that to start off with.
Yeah, not enabled that feature yet, unless you, because it's gonna show your name and how you voted.
Sounds excessive when we're saying our name and how we vote.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
you not only would you say aye, you'd go on and click aye or yay or whatever.
No.
And I didn't figure you guys would
I
want to do
would
that.
only use that if we was on a roll call vote.
Yes.
And then you wouldn't even really have to say it. You could use that to go down through the roll and then you'd have it on the screen.
We have access to do it. We just, the reality of us doing that often is probably not going to be very often.
Not very often.
Less efficient.
Okay, I will take it.
As the meeting progresses, the live meeting banner will dynamically update to reflect the current topic under discussion. This helps you stay informed about the agenda's flow and ensures you can easily follow along. Additionally, if you are a voting member and if digital voting has been enabled by your site's administrator, you will have the ability to cast your votes using your preferred devices. Let's see how this looks. The person controlling the live meeting would submit a motion to all voting members. Once this is done, the motion will display on your screen like this, and you will then have the ability to digitally cast your votes directly from your device. The live meeting feature will be covered in more detail in the upcoming training videos, so stay tuned for that. And finally, as board members, you also have access to the document library, which is a centralized storage managed by the site admin to store important files. But before we dive into that, let's recap how BoardDocs Pro and Pro Plus users used to access the library in BoardDocs. Upon logging in, you would proceed to the Library tab and choose the specific area you intended to access. The contents of the selected area was then presented on the right side of the screen, and a simple click would open it up. Back to Diligent Community, access to the document library is now universal, regardless of your service level. Simply click its icon in the navigation menu and choose whether to explore the public folder, which contains documents visible to the public, or the internal folder, which holds files exclusively available to users with login credentials. Here, you will find columns displaying the folder's names, when it was last modified, and by who. You can click the arrow next to the folders to reveal its contents. If you wish to open a file, simply click on its name. Additionally, you can also search for specific documents by using the search bar. And that concludes this video. Celebrating your dedication to the governance of your organization, we welcome you to a new chapter with Diligent Community. As we journey together, we look.
Okay. I don't, but the search is a good function. I mean, you're going to be able to go on and search any document that we put in there. And instead of going through all those clicks, if you have 3 or 4 questions, you can just search, bring up the document, look over it, whatever you need to do. So that is, and same with when we switch over with policies, it's supposed to be much faster with policies and administrative guidelines and all of those different things, which has been a really nice function. And you're still going to be able to search out for other people's policies across the nation. So when we're making those policies, the next meeting we're going to have, not the special meeting, but the next meeting we're going to have a lot of policy because we got our annual policy update that we'll be doing. So there's a lot of different policies. Is there any questions with this? We'll just keep practicing, logging in.
We're set to go live with Diligent at the November 17th. So, and from my understanding, when I share the agenda, you will get an email and a link where you can either click that link automatically and go to the agenda, log into the agenda, or you can just log into the public site
The only big change I could see is it's not going to have a highlighted recommendation. We do that manually. It's going to be bold and at the bottom. I don't know that it's going to be that much different than what we have. You can take a lot more notes in it if you'd like to.
Okay, anything else on training? All right, you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Been properly moved and second. We adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.